Hello, my GT More Matadors. I miss you guys so much, but I'm really excited to jump in to our poetry unit. We have 7 vocabulary words that we're going to be working with all throughout this unit. So we're going to create a foldable. The reason why I like creating a foldable to learn my vocabulary words is because I'm what you call a kinesthetic learner. So I have to do something, be that writing it out, building something with my hands, and then I can learn something. This is just a tool that we always want to try to use with new vocabulary. So we're going to be using the Quizlet and all the fun games that are on Quizlet to learn these words, but we're going to start off by creating our foldable. Now this is going to be super easy. All you need are 4 sheets of paper. These can be normal notebook paper. So here I have some of my sheets. I have them colored so that hopefully you can see the process a little bit easier. And I was running a little bit low on paper, so I'm actually using a watercolor piece that I did over break. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it works out really well. So all you're going to do first is stack them evenly with one another. Then you're going to create 1 inch of space between each of these. So as you can tell, I'm going to do it real fast because I can't angle it towards the camera at the same time. Just don't have that skill yet, maybe as the weeks progress. So as you can see, I have about 1 inch of separation between all of my sheets of paper. I've even colored on each of them so you can see the difference. Then all you're going to do is take this top part and fold each of the pieces down. So we're just folding it down. And we're going to keep and maintain that same space. So I'm going to maybe make it a little bit smaller. And here is our end creation. So as you can see, we just fold these. So you're going to just press it a little bit harder. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spaces for us to create our work. So you may want to staple it, but you don't have to. This just requires it to look like this. So I'm going to take my Sharpie and write down my first word on my foldable. So I have a wonderful little blue Sharpie. My first word on my sheet is alliteration, and you will find these in the memo that we send out and also in the Quizlet link, so you can look at these as you go. So I'm going to write down the first word on that top fold down. So alliteration is ALLITERATION. Alliteration. So it's backwards, clearly. So once I have this, I'm going to do the same thing for each slot that I have on this paper. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I have alliteration, I have assonance, consonants, imagery, metaphor, personification, then I have symbolism as my last word. So I'm going to wait a second and then show you guys what I got. So we have alliteration, assonance, consonants, imagery, metaphor, personification, and symbolism. Now I'm going to fill out the top one underneath here. See how I have all this room? You can either fill on top or right here. So I'm going to go ahead and fill underneath alliteration, And I'm just writing down that definition that I have. So, alliteration is a literary device in which a series of words begins with the same consonant sound. So we've used this before when we say Peter Piper picked a peckle. These are all tongue twisters, right? That use alliteration. So Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers would be alliteration because we're using that consonant sound P over and over and over again. So I'm going to just write down that definition so I have it in front of me in my foldable. So alliteration is a literary device in which a series... Ooh.
I'm listening.
No, I did not say Siri, I said series. Of words begin with the same consonant sound. So in the text that we are reading, we'll see alliteration a few times. It's going to be the repetition of sounds such as the S sound, where the author writes seldom see through. So we have seldom see, both those S sounds. So that's a form of alliteration, just that repetition of consonants. And then we also have it with a W sound. So when the author writes worms waiting, we can clearly see those two W's. So worms waiting is a form of alliteration because it's that repetition of consonant sounds. One last one she uses is with the SH sound. So it doesn't necessarily just have to be a letter, it's a sound that repeats. So she says shadows shout. Right in front of their repetition, shadows shout. So, as you can see in my foldable, I have alliteration, and then I wrote down that definition under here. So this is a great way just to test yourself. So I'll be like, okay, well, alliteration it's a literary device where sounds are repeated. I'll look at my definition, and now I got it. So this is a really handy tool to study, as well as just that movement. There have been so many studies that show, and even we read this in the beginning of the year when we learned how actors form memory, where if a physical movement is used when you are trying to memorize something, it will actually store it into your long-term memory. We learned this at the beginning of the year, so we're just going to use it. We know this is an easy way to practice, so I love to use kinesthetic because it is that physical movement in a learning process. So the next word we have on our foldable is assonance. So I'm going to go ahead and write the definition under assonance. Now, if you guys have any questions or need anything from me, feel free to email me or you can text me. I'm sure you have seen my number in the emails, but if not, feel free to text me. My number is 205-577-2121, 205-577-2121. I'll help you make your foldable, but I think you got this. You guys are killing the game. Sending so much love to y'all. Bye.